lose. Sorry. Shakur has more to lose.
Yes.
He's the undefeated fighter. He's seen as the eventual pound-for-pound champ, potentially. But Teo has more to win. He has more to gain.
Mm-hmm. And I think Shakur respects Teo to the point where he's going to train like he's never trained before. Because this is a great fight for him. This is probably the best fight of his career up to date. Even though he's been in some great fights, this is probably the best opponent.
Can't say for certain because there's no certain with Teofimo Lopez. He's one of the most up, down, left, right guys I've ever been around.
Mercurial, we could say.
I mean,
yes.
But when he is on, he's damn near unbeatable. I mean, he's such a good athlete. He has such a good boxing IQ. He's so physical and explosive.
Boxing experts are closely watching the fight between Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez. They see it as a big clash of different styles and rising momentum. Max Kellerman says Shakur has more to lose because he is known for his sharp skills and perfect record. Teofimo has more to gain as the underdog with less pressure and more chance to surprise, which makes the fight risky and hard to predict.
Where Shakur is fighting to protect that perfect record, to protect that kind of sense that he's the next guy. On the other hand, Teo is like he can fight with more abandon against Shakur because there's so much for him to gain. And if he loses, he's lost before. He's lost to Kambosos, and he came back from that.
Greg Hackett gives a clear but fair prediction for the fight between Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez. He leans toward Shakur winning by decision because of his focus, ring smarts, and control in the ring. Still, he says boxing is unpredictable and Teofimo should not be counted out. One big moment from Teofimo's power, timing, or hard work could change the whole fight. In the end, Hackett feels Shakur's steady style and strong training will matter most. He believes Shakur knows how dangerous Teofimo is and will train harder than ever. With two top fighters at their best, Hackett sees this as a big clash where anything can happen.
I think Shakur, my first mind tells me Shakur, and I thought about it, I'm picking Shakur by decision, but because this is fighting, anything can happen, you can't count Teo out. So there is thoughts sometimes that cross my brain, like damn, what if Teo catch him like real good though? You know what I mean? And hurt him. Or what if he just out hustling? You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a lot of shit that crossed my mind, but I still like Shakur for the dub. I like Shakur for the dub because he knows how to win. Like he knows how to win. You know what I'm saying? And he's always prepared to win. So, and I think Shakur respects Teo to the point where he's gonna train like he's never trained before. Because this is a great fight for him. This is probably the best fight of his career up to date. Even though he's been in some great fights, this is probably the best opponent. You know what I mean? And Teo, same for Teo. So when it's like that, when you put Magic and Bird together, shit happens. You know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of situation it is. Magic Johnson was nice, but Larry Bird was nice. You put them together, you get a nice game. You know what I mean? So you put these two together, you get a nice fight.
Is this one of the fights that we're going to remember historically? Like, is this a, you know,
to go back and
it's
study.
19, it's 19, when did Leonard and Hearns first fight? Is this one of them?
That shit was like 87 or some shit. Yeah.
It's 19.
Like 87 or something.
No, it had to be earlier than that, right?
84
the first
maybe.
One? Yeah, like
I don't know, because he was in the 76 Olympics. Well, no, 70.
Wasn't it 78?
No, they ain't fighting 78.
No, I'm saying 78 Olympics, wasn't
Yeah,
he?
probably 78 or some shit.
Chris Algieri breaks down the fight by looking at Teofimo Lopez's mindset and surroundings. He says Madison Square Garden is the perfect place for such a big fight and that the bright lights add more drama. Algieri believes Teofimo does his best when things are wild and when people doubt him. He calls Lopez unpredictable but says when everything comes together he is very hard to beat because of his speed, smarts, and power. Algieri notices that Teofimo often fights better when he is counted out. Since many people favor Shakur for being steady, Algieri thinks this underdog role could bring out Teofimo's best and make the fight more dangerous than it looks.
Or the health of boxing on this side of the world. You know, listen, there's nothing like the Garden. We've both fought there many times. I fought in the big room. There's nothing like the Garden. Just the vibe, like you said, champ, that's around that. And this fight is deserving to be here. It's that good of a fight. It's that big a fight, and especially like I said, like the health of American boxing. This is one of the best fights that can be made. And putting it in the Garden just makes too much sense.
But the idea of the turmoil, the eyes on it, the spectacle, the circus. Chris, you talked about the idea that Teofimo Lopez kind of lives in this. That's where he flourishes. That's what he loves. This idea that because there's so many eyeballs on it, it's going to be kind of a circus. Does that favor Teofimo a little bit when you look at the strategy? Yes, no?
I'm going to say well, I can't say for certain because there's no certain with Teofimo Lopez. He's one of the most up, down, left, right guys I've ever been around.
Mercurial, we could say. Yes.
But when he is on, he's damn near unbeatable. I mean, he's such a good athlete. He has such a good boxing IQ. He's so physical and explosive. And again, I've said this on past shows. I've called him many times for Top Rank, been around fight weeks. And it just seems to me, the more out of sorts he seems, the more back against the wall it looks like, the more that he's an underdog, the better he performs. And this could be that kind of situation. New York is a tough place, man. They're already gibbering, going back and forth, saying like, you know, he reps Brooklyn, but there's kind of questions about his Brooklyn roots. Can he really rep Brooklyn in the way that he says he can? So he's already getting that heat for that. I don't know. It might be a good thing to kind of to poke the bear in terms of how well Teofimo is going to show up.
Paulie, that's a huge. You're from Brooklyn. That's a big insult to say that you're not really from Brooklyn.
Insult him a little bit.
Insult him a little bit. Insult him.
But I'll tell you what. I don't. There's so many thoughts in my head with this situation because Teofimo is at his most dangerous when he's counted out, and this is going to be one of those fights where he's going to be counted out.
Teofimo Lopez talks openly about wanting to fight Shakur Stevenson and why the matchup matters to him. He says top fighters should earn top pay, and a fight this big should be exciting and rewarded fairly. Lopez explains that his style is creative and fun, not just safe boxing. He points out times when experts were surprised by his skills and ability to adjust against great fighters. Inspired by legends, he mixes old-school moves with modern speed to keep improving. For Teofimo, fighting Shakur is about more than money or hype. It is about proving himself, respecting boxing's past, and showing he belongs in the biggest fights today.
Oh, you know what you're talking about, right?
Of course, I'm talking about Shakur.
$4 million.
$4 million.
Ooh, we didn't get into Shakur.
Oh, yeah, I want to see like entertainment, and then pay the man for that entertainment.
Well,
you know,
I
give it all different kind of traits of skills. I mean, even Andre Ward, someone that's like an analyst, like a perfectionist in boxing, like his IQ is high. He was even the commentator, like he was surprised how I did that jab where it was like a Superman punch to Josh Taylor, a guy that's undisputed and everything, and just made it look so easy. I bring so many things. I even brought a George Foreman combination now because that's everything. Everything is everything. Like I go back in time because that's where my future is at. And so like as far as like retirement and stuff, honestly, man, it's up to the networks. It's really up to the networks.
Shakur Stevenson is training very hard for his fight against Teofimo Lopez. This is the biggest fight of his career and a chance to face a top opponent fans have been waiting to see. Each workout shows his focus as he sharpens his skills, timing, and game plan. Shakur knows a strong performance could raise his place in boxing and be remembered for a long time. For him, this is not just another fight. It is a career-defining moment that requires his best effort. Tim Bradley breaks down the fight by focusing on its skill level and importance to boxing. He says Devin Haney is leading the new generation by pushing young fighters to face each other and prove who is truly the best. Bradley believes the winner of this fight should face Haney next to keep the excitement growing in the division. He also sends a clear message to commentators and analysts to study the fight carefully. This will not be about non-stop punches, but about small details, timing, and clean accuracy. People who do not understand boxing deeply may miss key moments and confuse fans. Bradley explains that every move, counter, and strategy matters at this level. Only those who truly study the fighters and their styles can give meaningful analysis. For Bradley, this is more than just a fight. It is a lesson in focus, discipline, and how modern boxing skill continues to rise.
Going at it again. Yeah, I think Devin Haney setting the trend. Devin Haney setting the trend. Yeah. Yep, he's setting the trend. Now all these young guys starting to test themselves against each other now. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. We want to see who the best is, yo. And then the winner of this fight right here needs to fight Devin Haney. Why not? Why not? Keep it going. Keep it going. But anyways, look, this is a message, man. Anybody that's gonna be working that card, y'all better make sure y'all do y'all damn homework. I'm talking about any commentators, any host, anybody. Do your damn homework, man, for real. You know what I'm saying? Because this not going to be one of them fights where it's going to be rock'em sock'em, both guys hitting each other and stuff like that. No, it's going to be small, little nuancey type of things that if you don't know what you watching, you can't tell us what the hell is going on. All the fans at home going to be like, what's going on? You know? That they don't have the knowledge that you supposed to have to give us some food for our damn thoughts. So do your damn homework on this, okay? Oh, that go for everybody that's gonna be calling this fight, because there's every offense that, or every type of any offense that's gonna be landed, it's gonna have to be earned or set up. Both these guys are intelligent, right? Teofimo Lopez, explosive as hell. He's smart as well. Shoot, you got to remember, this man was the first man to beat Lomachenko. Yeah, well before Haney. Yeah, So, look, check this out. And you already know Shakur Stevenson. You know what he bringing to the ring. Defense first. Yep, defense first. You ain't getting nothing. I'm gonna get mine when I get mine and when I want to get mine, but you ain't getting nothing. So look, y'all might perceive this fight as being boring and this and that. This is going to be one hell of a technical battle that I can't wait to see.
Analyst Wade explains that Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson likely know each other's styles very well because they came up through similar systems. Few fighters understand one another like these two do. Wade says if Teofimo comes in trying to break or stop Shakur, it would be something we have never really seen before. He notes that in past fights, like against William Zepeda, Shakur was briefly tested, but it was more of a slip than real danger. Wade also says fans expecting Shakur to fight with non-stop aggression may be surprised. Both fighters are smart, skilled, and careful, so he expects a slow, controlled fight. Instead of wild exchanges, it will be a chess match with smart movement and planned attacks. The fight will test their brains, discipline, and patience, making it less explosive but very interesting for true boxing fans.
It seemed like to me, just from the outside looking in, that he was pushed ahead of you. He was getting the fights that you were calling for Loma. He got Loma.
Yeah.
You wanted other guys. He was getting other guys. Did you see him as a future foe? Because at one point you were 2 divisions ahead of him.
I think that everything just plays out the way it does, and eventually we was gonna end up meeting up with each other eventually. I think that's how it works, right? When 2 greats collide, you're bound to see a great fight. So I never seen any jealousy in my part with him. I mean, for crying out loud, he fought for Team USA, got a silver medal. And,
not during them times, though,
and
bro.
The whole thing
not
was
during them times.
pushed.
I'm speaking on the times where I felt like you had a push start. You got the, you used to be ahead of me far as like, you was the code on Terrence Crawford card. I was underneath. Then you got the opportunity to fight with Lomachenko. And after that, I felt like I kind of got pushed more than you, and you felt some type of way about the way that I was pushed more than you when it came down to ESPN. I remember you saying a little comment with the ESPN only like black fighters and all that kind of stuff. And when you said that, I kind of felt like it was a shot at me. So
the hell? That's where we're going. ESPN only likes black fighters. I don't remember that. But all right, let's take it there then. Shit, what we saying, Tio? They only watching the black fighters over at ESPN?
I felt like it was a little bit of jealousy.
No, I just didn't give enough. That's all.
Cool.
Just didn't give enough about it all.
Yeah, but when you said in the
ended
comments,
up-
you said something there. It was something you said at that time. That was something. It was the way you felt, right?
Nah, I just pushed the movement that I felt like we was taking over as we are now.
Like I said, I think you're the truth. I know I'm the truth, and can't wait to see it.
Yo, Shakur is showing them teeth off, son. Now that he got that gap fixed, Shakur is showing them shits off. That man smiling. That man, you know what I'm saying? Just throwing them teeth out there. And he should. Everybody giving Shakur stick about fixing his gap in his teeth. Y'all would do the same shit. Just because J. Cole got on a song and talked about how he never fixed his gap in his tooth and he wanted to remain himself or whatever, I'm not with that. If you got something like that where, you know what I'm saying, you got the saloon doors in the middle, gums with no teeth, you want to push the shits together, you know what I'm saying, you want to bring the whole family together, I'm not mad at that at all. But Shakur is flexing them, you know what I'm saying?
Now, Shakur, you, judging by the recent CompuBox numbers, you're number 1 by a mile as far as fighters not landing any power punches on you.
Bruce Carrington explains Teofimo Lopez's biggest weakness against Shakur Stevenson, which is dealing with movement. He says that while Teofimo is fast, strong, and exciting, Shakur's footwork and patience can frustrate him. In past fights against hard-to-catch opponents like Sandor Martin and Jimmy Ortiz, Teofimo struggled when he could not set his feet. Carrington adds that Shakur's defense and control of distance make him very hard to hit cleanly. Teofimo will need to stay calm and adjust to a fighter who is always moving. Carrington still sees it as an exciting fight, but believes it could be a difficult night for Lopez unless he finds a way to handle Shakur's slippery style.
I feel like Teo is going to bring the fight. He's very athletic. He has a lot of explosiveness, and but I do feel like when it comes to Shakur, bro, his movement may frustrate him. The only thing that worries me when it comes to Teofimo is his frustration. Like, is he going to be able to work well with a mover? We've seen, difficulties that he had with Sandor Martin. We've seen the difficulties that he had with Jimmy Ortiz, guys that's been moving around and not staying still. Like, if you keep Teo moving around and he can't plant his feet, what can he do? We're going to have to find that out on, January 31st. And I think Shakur, he's probably one of the best guys to, move his feet, be on defense, being hella patient and frustrating a fighter, bro. Like, so, I don't know. We've seen Teo get frustrated to the point where he's asking himself, do I still got it? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We got to see what his mentality is going to be like come January 31st.
Do you think that his experience on the biggest of stages, his two biggest wins, he was an underdog. And both guys, ironically enough, were southpaws like Shakur. That play any factor to you, man?
Nah, styles is different. The styles are totally different. Lomachenko don't fight like Shakur. Josh Taylor don't fight like Shakur. Like I don't see, just because it's southpaw, that same thing will happen. I feel like certain techniques could be used to fight Shakur, yeah. But in terms of like that approach of the fight, nah. Like Shakur fights totally different. You gotta be able to do some out of pocket stuff with Shakur. You gotta throw while he's throwing. That's probably some of the only times that he's able to get hit. Only time he's open. So yeah, other than that, bro, it's gonna be a pretty tough night for Teofimo Lopez, but I feel like it's still gonna be an exciting fight.
Henry, a boxing analyst, breaks down Shakur Stevenson's career as he gets ready to face Teofimo Lopez. Shakur is undefeated at 24-0 with 11 knockouts and turned pro in 2017. At 28 years old, he is in his prime, the same age as Lopez, and they are close in size. Henry says a final size check would need to see them side by side. Shakur has more experience, though, as a 3-division world champion who started at a lower weight and grew into his body. Henry believes Shakur's skill, experience, and championship background make him a very tough opponent who can match Lopez both physically and technically on fight night.
8 years old, both men in their athletic primes. He's 5'8". These are on paper heights, so potentially a little bit shorter. He could even be a bit taller than Teofimo Lopez. I really need to see them next to each other to make that assessment. No lifts in the shoes, all that stuff. But around the same size is the most important thing. The difference, though, with Shakur Stevenson is he's actually a 3-weight division world champion, and he started a division lower than Teofimo Lopez, meaning naturally it would appear that he's slightly the smaller man. Although that doesn't necessarily mean they're now not the same size. He could easily have filled out to be roughly the same size as Teofimo Lopez is on the night in the ring. Now, for me, I'm going to jump back to 2021 to first start talking about Shakur Stevenson, when he managed to get a win over Jamel Herring. Again, he'd had significant wins before this fight, but it was the first one where I really tuned into his career. Notable wins had already come against Joet Gonzalez, Jeremiah Nakathila.
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned and see you next time.